Welcome to Psychology class. Our mini lecture today is on Module 1, the history and perspectives in psychological science, and how psychology class works. In our mini lecture today, we're going to look at all different kind of aspects and things that we're going to be studying together on our journey throughout psychology class. So first off, we need to understand, what is psychology? Very simple. Psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. In this class, you're going to learn about how your brain works and how to take care of yourself. That is what our main focus is in psychology class. And in psychology, the scientific study of behavior and mental processes, how we use research methods, how we use observable behavior, and the mental processes of our thoughts, our feelings, and our dreams. That's what makes up psychology. The father of modern psychology is psychologist Wilhelm Wundt. Wilhelm Wundt is known as his father of psychology when he opened the first psychology lab in Leipzig, Germany in 1879. Psychology has only been around for just a little bit, about close to 150 years. And this is the beginning of psychology field. Before that, we did look at things, how our brain works and things like that, and try to figure out. But the modern psychology that we know of today only has been around since about 1879. E.B. Titchener is a contemporary of Wilhelm Wundt. And E.B. Titchener found structuralism to look at intensity, clarity, and quality. But you may be saying, well, that's nice, but what is structuralism? Structuralism is a theory that structure is a conscious experience that is understood by analyzing basic elements of thoughts and sensations. The theory that structure of conscious experience is analyzed by basic elements of thoughts and sensations. Your experience and how you make the best of it through what you do, how you think, and what your experiences are. Now, Gestalt psychology, and it's pronounced Gestalt, like just assault, but Gestalt. Right? Gestalt psychology is basically where you integrate pieces of information into meaningful wholes to be able to understand one thing. The whole is different from the sum of its parts. You've got a big mass, but this is made up of many different things. Functionalism is the functions of consciousness and the way that we help people to adapt to their environment. Your basic functions. In society, my function is to be a teacher. In society, your function may be different. Some people may be mechanics. Some people may be businessmen. Some people may be gardeners. Some people may be business managers. Okay? Some people may be lawyers. Your function in society helps you to adapt to your environment and our overall environment as a whole. Psychoanalysis is bringing thoughts and actions to looking at them and determining them, finding underlying meaning to our unconscious motives and conflicts. That's what psychoanalysis is, digging into our thoughts and our sensations on what to do and why we do things the way we do. Behaviorism is the observable behaviors that we see, that we study, and why we behave the way we do. Those are the main things that we are going to look at in our psychology class. And as we can see, structuralism, functionalism, psychoanalysis, and behaviorism. Now, there are 6 psychological perspectives to our class. First is the cognitive perspective, how we think, how we take in, how we process, store, and how we retrieve. This is what we do to interpret a situation. Taking in, processing, and retrieving. We'll learn more about this later. Biological perspective is how we underline behavior, thoughts, and emotion, how our brain chemistry helps to be able to enact that. Social cultural perspective is thinking our behavior changes in different situations and how we deal with this in a culture, how we behave in certain ways around certain people. Behavioral perspective is based solely on behavior, how we do through our thoughts, our rewards, and our punishments and observation. Humanistic is how healthy people try to reach our fullest potential, what we have to do to bring healthiness to our lives, but satisfying need to reach a goal and potential. Psychodynamic is how behavior is affected by unconscious drives and conflicts, how our behavior explained is through unconscious motivation, and how we adapt to a modern world. So as we can see here, the 6 psychological perspectives: cognitive, biological, sociocultural, behavioral, humanistic, and psychodynamic. And finally, in the 21st century, behavior, our main focus is not necessarily, we take those 6 perspectives that we had before, but we put them into our everyday life and practice. Behavior genetics is the main thing we focus on nowadays, where we look at how much our genes and environment influence our individual differences. We look at biology and behavior, how we and our nature and nurture, our biology affects our behavior. And finally, positive psychology, looking at how we study optimal human functioning, how individuals and communities thrive to put together the best they possibly can to promote human functioning and to build a positive qualities in people. And this is our mini lecture on Module 1, the history and perspectives in psychological science.